If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 503. Still Got Game's official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Chris Selden, 0077.
And we are back. Yeah, we had a couple weeks off. Selden had a lot of family events 2 weeks in a row. But we are back with a new episode. Does it feel good to be back, Selden?
It actually does. I have so much to say. I can't wait to.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
It's been building for 2 weeks.
Nice. All right, well, why don't we just hop right in the show proper? We're still doing a host search. And if you think you got what it takes, email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com or shoot us off a voicemail at 773-527-2961. Let us know your bona fides and why you should be a host of the show. But I think next week I'm going to bring on our first, I haven't spoken with him yet, but he is interested. So regular commenter Shadow, I think we're going to invite him on next week to see how things go. So it should be fun.
Yeah.
So this is probably the first he's hearing of it live on the show. So, but Shadow, I'll be in touch. And I just want to remind everyone, if you're in chat right now and you want something to be discussed on the show, drop it in chat and we'll try to work in the episode. On that, why don't we just go right to the mailbag for feedback and questions from our last episode. And remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Lawbreaker asks, I would like to see how the show's dynamic changes when you add a new host. If you bring on someone and the show gets notably worse, would you let them go? The answer is yes.
It would take a lot to make the show get worse.
Wow, so such kudos for us. Thanks. Yeah, no.
That's more aimed towards myself instead of you. I'm not
thanks.
a professional like you.
No, this is true. Thank you for recognizing and pedestaling me. So that was good. All right, next up, Principal Impact comments. Really enjoyed the last couple episodes. I do miss Hitman, but will hold out hope for your hosting search. You don't find a Hitman every day.
I miss Hitman dramatically too.
Yeah.
But I haven't lost contact with him. I'm still, I still chat with him all the time. So he's doing well.
Good.
He's enjoying his retirement.
Yeah. Well, we can only hope to get him back for some special episodes. So something that would be right in his wheelhouse, like a Sea of Thieves update or special occasion shows. So yes.
Yeah, maybe we can get him to call in.
Yeah, let's not rule him out, but hopefully he makes some appearances. Next up, Slotty Kid asks, is there a minimum age to try out to be the new host? I'd say it's 25.
25 and up? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That sticks with the old tool to play requirement of age requirement to get in. So
yeah, I find it funny though. Like now, like when people are like, "Oh, what's Tool Play?" I'm like, "Well, it's a website for gamers over 25." And I was like, "Don't think that's weird because this thing started 18 years ago when I was a lot younger." So, but people do look. They kind of do like a double take, like 25 and older. But huh?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The 25 was always that good sweet spot because it was kids were no longer really kids. They're out of college at that point, or at least close to the end of their college career. And it just brought a little bit more level of maturity into it. And you weren't plagued with the racist, homophobic,
hurtful comments. Yes.
Of the the internet dwellers.
Yes. And it was like enough past 21 that you weren't still like, let's rage. Like maybe these people settled down, started families, and hey, at least we hoped. And that was kind of the reason for the demographic. That, and we had to make sure that Jay at the time was above the minimum age. So
I think when Yant comes back on, he could probably confirm it. But I think he was actually maybe a year underage when he joined the site. But he holds himself to a higher standard, so we gotta love him.
yeah, that's like Hitman. Hitman admitted years later that he was like 3 years too young. So yes, so yeah,
Yeah, I was never too young.
yeah. We did all the as much internet research as we could and hand approved 50,000 people for the site. So we were doing due diligence, but sometimes it got away from us, and we didn't find the right social media links that had people's ages or whatever, and it is what it is. All right, and last but not least, Altius asks, with the massive success of the Super Mario Brothers movie and the Sonic movies before it, do you think we'll see an increase in video game movie adaptations? The slump of terrible video game movies in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s seems to be over.
Yeah, I mean, they have been putting out some good quality video game adaptations. Even the Tetris documentary or fictional documentary or whatever you
yeah,
want.
I still haven't watched that yet, but I heard that's good.
It was phenomenal. It was really good. They really did a good job on it. I think we're away from the times of what we had, like a battleship game.
Yeah. We had Uwe Boll was the one putting out these movies, and they were like non-stop terrible. I did like the old Super Mario Bros. Movies was shit. Let's not sugarcoat that, but like the Doom movie, I really enjoyed, and I've rewatched it and it holds up. I like when they go into the first person scenes, and but that was one of the few. Well, I guess you could say like the Resident Evil movies, but those are almost not even a video game movie. They're like kind of like The Last of Us. They're just retelling the video game story in movie form.
They did a pretty good job with the last Mortal Kombat movie. I mean, some of the ones before
that's right.
were
that
garbage.
So
they've done a really good job with that.
That was really good. Yes. Yeah, I like that. And it had just enough of the video game stuff put into it to check that check mark where you're like, oh yeah, I know that. I know Fatality. Yes. Fatality.
Yeah, but like the early Sonic movies were pretty bad though. I know that they pulled in like Jim Carrey and they had big names in them, but they were kind of almost to the point of hokey. And the new Super Mario Brothers movie, I have to say I did enjoy it.
That's crossed the $1 billion mark too.
Yeah, it definitely hit a lot of the mainstream check marks. To got the kids and parents involved and stuff like that. So it was good.
Yeah, see, I still haven't seen that yet. So, but it's on my list. I still have to get Tiff out of the house to a movie theater. Yeah, but we won't go in this debate again. Sometimes you have to go out to see something good. She went out for Top Gun Maverick. Like, she just needs to lower her standards and go out for more stuff. So, especially with Guardians coming out Friday, and yeah, we got to get back to theaters more often. So.
They got to put something out. Yeah. I think there's some garbage out there right now. Like like the last Avatar movie, I think was horrible.
We really like that.
It's just you should have just left Avatar alone at the first movie, in my opinion. But
I don't know. He's doing about $1 billion.
I know.
So you can't talk. He's got like of the top grossing movies in worldwide of all time. He has 3 in the top 5. He has Avatar, Titanic, and Avatar 2. So, yeah, it's impressive. James Cameron somehow knows how to make movies, despite taking like a 10-year break on Avatar. So,
I'm just seeing if there's any other games real quick. I was looking it up real quick. Anything coming out that I can see? No, I don't see anything.
Nope. No movies that are interesting you?
Nah. No.
All right. Well, yeah. So Altius, yeah, I think that video game movies are the currency now, like comic book movies are, and hopefully they all keep doing well. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens. We had the shit show that was Shazam 2, and then everyone's nervous about the DCEU, although despite their problems with the law, I think that uh, the the latest trailer for the Flash looks fucking amazing. Um, I know they are a piece of shit, but obviously DC stuck with it. They're putting lots of money behind this launch, and I can't wait to go to the theater and see that. So,
Yeah,
these are
real
exciting.
quick, some rumored video game adaptations that are coming out. Borderlands is still out there somewhere, possibly as a movie be coming out.
That could be good.
Another
Could
Sonic
be.
the Hedgehog, Ghost of
Yeah.
Tsushima. Shima.
To,
That's that's probably going to be one of those Sony's retelling of the video game
yeah.
story.
Yeah.
We'll probably see another Tomb Raider. BioShock movie was rumored a while ago.
Yeah. I'm not
I don't know if
sure.
they could pull that off.
Yeah, we might be too
Um,
distant from Bioshock at this point.
a God of War movie, a Monster Hunter movie, a possible Gears of War movie.
Oh, I did hear about the Gears of War movie. Yeah, that could be
Uh,
interesting. Basically, a big alien fighting movie. Yeah.
yeah. Anything Minecraft movie, it's probably just going to be one of those other garbage shows that they just animate the thing, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't imagine it would be any good. There's talk. Has the Detective Pikachu 2 come out yet? That was
No,
a
no, but
rumor.
Detective Pikachu was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Anything with Ryan Reynolds is awesome. So,
A Duke Nukem movie, but I don't know if
no,
they could pull that.
no, without John St. John doing the voice, no.
Yeah.
And he's a little old to play the character, so
Yeah. And the world's a little bit more PC nowadays, so
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is true. This is true.
there's a possible, some good ones. Half-Life, I think, is another one that might be able to
Mm,
adapt some kind of storyline within it to make a movie out of.
yeah. It's basically written a narrative that they just have to redo like they did with Last of Us. So,
Yeah.
yep. All right. Well, good question, Altius. You got us thinking, and now you got us excited. So,
Yeah.
well, if any of you guys have feedback like or questions like these awesome folks, give us a call 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@toolsplay.com. And on that, we'll jump on over what we're playing. Selden, what have you been playing this week?
I am still deep in the DMZ and Call of Duty. I'm still loving the DMZ mode of that game. I'm playing it
Because you love
almost daily
Tarkov. Yeah,
because
that's
I love
why.
Tarkov. So,
Yeah. Yep.
and they made some the improvements and the season currently that we're in. I've been going over pretty well. They added a couple new bosses within the map. The weapons case rotates around between the bosses and the trains. The extra train is kind of cool. They added mechanics where you can upgrade your weapon on the fly at the workbenches that are located out there by the buy stations. So they've done a good job. They keep improving it each season. So I'm excited to see where it goes. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of fun. Other than that, when I'm not running around the DMZ, I'm playing a lot of Ghostwire Tokyo. That was one of the PlayStation timed exclusives that came to Game Pass.
Yeah,
Action adventure. It's a phenomenal game. It really is.
I'm
Um,
sure.
and it's all Japanese and subtitled English. So like my mom was in town, she was watching me. She's like, "How can you play this game? You have to read everything too." I'm like, "You just got to go." I mean, it just happens. You look down, like, okay, saying that, okay, I'm still fighting. Okay, good, let's go. So,
Interesting. Yeah, that doesn't
so
seem
it's
fun to me.
it's actually good. Yeah, it's an open world type of action adventure game, and it's a lot of fun. So I definitely highly recommend Ghostwire Tokyo. So other than that, Minecraft Legends came out. I played a little bit of that. It's not my style of game, but I can see where it's got some merit.
Did you do any of the co-op or do any of
No,
the PvP?
no, I just did solo and I was
Yeah,
playing
okay.
through the intro and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of resource gathering and spawn troop making and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it's I forget this. What the hell are those? What the hell type of game would you call it?
Like a
God damn
tower
it, I can't.
defense game?
It's almost like a tower defense game, but it's like those old military games where you'd build the base and you'd have to pump out a
Oh,
bunch of troops
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
keep attacking and going back and refreshing, get more troops and keep blasting at it. And
Like an RTS?
yeah, like almost like an RTS, a real time RTS type thing. So,
Yeah. Oh,
um,
well, real-time RTS is redundant.
yes,
Yes,
yeah, I
yes.
just realized this. I said that I was like, fucking idiot. but other than that, no, that's pretty much all I've been playing. So I would say, yeah, those are the three. How about you, Derek? What you been up to?
Well, we kicked off our TIFF, and GBMS and I kicked off our Dead Island 2 campaign run through last week. So we played a
Nice.
couple nights. It's as fun as the first one. It's got some nice changes in there. The story's fun. And there's still something rewarding about not using your weapon and just going in there and kicking the shit out of someone with your foot. And we were all like curb stomping zombies, and we're all cracking up laughing. So it's a fun game, and it looks fantastic, and they've really upped the gore system and everything else. So highly recommend that. And then in my spare time beyond that, some Vampire Survivors, some Fall Guys, the usual. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing some more. Well, Tiff's gone this week, so we probably won't get back to the Dead Island campaign until next week. But probably play some more. Oh, I should have put it on here. I was playing PGA Tour golf with GBMS, so that's been pretty good. Enjoying that. So maybe we'll do some of that this week. Maybe we'll do some Fall Guys. I don't know. But yeah.
The PGA Tour, that's the one that just came out from EA, right?
Yep. So we got
The
the
Masters.
yes, so we got the 10-hour free trial, and we've probably put 3 hours into it. So I figure we got 2 more nights of that before we have to decide if we want to buy it. But
Yeah. I played that when it first came out. There was definitely some issues going on with it, especially like playing skins games. I was playing against my son,
oh,
couch co-op,
Yep.
and it wouldn't award me the skins when I'd win a hole, and then it wouldn't. Like then all of a sudden he would start being the first off the next tee, like he won the skin, but no skin was awarded. Then randomly it would just award him all the skins on a hole. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck is going on?
I
with
would
this?
say
I'm like,
that's a little broken. Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely a little broken. The game was phenomenal though. It was beautiful. I mean, it was nice playing the
Yeah.
courses.
Yeah, we did stroke play, so we didn't have that issue. But
Yeah. Now it had a set bunch of courses. Now is this one going to be able to get other courses? Like
I
Like
would
the other-
assume so. That's
the
how
other
these
golf
guys.
games had like you could design courses, you can load them download them from like a server and stuff like that. But I didn't see that.
So I'm not sure they're going to do custom courses, but I'm pretty sure they're going to offer more courses as paid DLC. That's like a no-brainer. But I guess it all depends on how well the game does. So,
Yeah.
but all these
It's good to
courses
see them
have been-
back in the mix of golf games though.
Oh
'cause-
yeah, for a while there was only one, so now
Yeah.
it's like the NFL games this year. They're going to be 2. So yes, we're improving. As long as there's competition, it forces innovation. So
And this just brings up the other thing. I don't know where it just snuck up on me, but there's so many games out right now that I want to play. Like the Dead Island 2. I wanted to play it. I just didn't get around to. But one of the games we're about to talk about is the new releases. It's just what the fuck, man. And then the other
this
games
became
coming out
like
tomorrow that I want to play. I'm like,
yeah,
damn
this
it.
became the hot month or month and a half for new releases. It's insane. Well, speaking of that, why don't we just hop on over to the new releases?
There we go.
So since our last episode, and 5 of these were out 2 weeks ago, and then number 6 came out last week, and number 7 comes out this week. But that's an insane amount of games for this time of year. So just saying that before we start off. So first new release out is Disney Speedstorm. This is out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch, and the PC. This is like a Disney kart racing game. I've heard good things about it. I know people are playing it, enjoying it. I did hear that there's a lot of free-to-play elements in it, even though it's not a free-to-play game. Like there's you like it when a game has one currency and you earn that currency and you spend that currency. But this game, I guess, has 5 different currencies. Um, and you use them all for different things. Well, I guess Fall Guys is too. Fall Guys has 3 currencies, but 5 is a lot.
That's a shit ton.
So you earn different currencies from different race modes, and then you can spend them on different things. I do want to check this out. I just haven't had a chance. So.
Yeah, no, it's probably going to be a hard pass for me, especially if they're running a cryptocurrencies multi-level scheme thing going on inside the game. Pass.
Some MLM. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next new release out is God of Rock. This is out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch, and the PC. This is like a rhythm fighting game, a new category that didn't exist prior. It's like a 1v1, and I guess this game is pretty amazing. Like it's had fantastic reviews and people are loving it, but I don't like mixing peanut butter with my chocolate, and I don't like mixing rhythm games with my fighting games.
Well, it maybe this one's unique, but they've been a lot of games have been tending to reach towards this rhythm fighting game. That surprise announcement game that Microsoft announced, what was that?
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. That was a rhythm fighting game, but it was a
PvE.
action adventure.
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
PvE. So I mean, people have been trying this. They just need to stop with this and bring back,
Bring
Rock
back
Band
the plastic
and,
instruments. Yes.
bring back the plastic instruments, because that's where the rhythm games fucking really shine. I think.
Oh, I agree.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it's I've tried some of these rock rhythm games, and it's just they're not my bag of tricks because I have no rhythm.
No.
So, but I'm sure a lot of people like them. So, got to tap the buttons and beat with the music.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, overall it's doing well. So good on them. Next new release out is Minecraft Legends. This is out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch, and the PC. Microsoft delivering on all platforms, regardless of competition, just like a good guy does. Now, I've heard great stuff about this, but like I have friends that worked on this game and everything else, but you seem to not have enjoyed it.
no, I enjoyed it. It's not my style of game at this point. It's not where my wheelhouse is, where I want to spend time, resource gathering and stuff like that. That has to go through it. I mean, it's billed as an action strategy video game. It's just, it's not my. It's not where I want to play.
Say no more, Selden.
There's a lot of other good games out there that are
You'd
attracting
rather
my
devote
attention
your
right now.
time to. Yes.
And honestly, like I tried to get my kids to play this because my one's a huge Minecraft nut, and he had nothing. It just didn't have anything to do with it, So I hope it succeeds, and I think it will. It's got to get that niche group going, and some of the streamers got to start picking it up, and
yeah.
It's got to get that word of mouth thing going to get it going, because they really didn't advertise it as much as I thought they would have. So
no, I feel like it's been pretty heavily advertised. Like they do that Minecraft convention every year and all this other stuff, but for people that are outside of that gaming loop, it probably fell under the radar. So.
Yeah, it really, I think you need to get the streamers behind it and the YouTubers and stuff like that to get playing it and get it out there. I don't think I've seen many of the big names playing it, so maybe that's where I'm seeing a failure. So maybe.
Yeah. Now, and I know they did let influencers start playing a week before it came out, and allowed them to stream it to try to do exactly that. But apparently, it's not a broad enough shotgun to hit all the viewers. So. All right. Next out is The Mage Seeker, a League of Legends story. I'm not a League guy, and this is more like a League adjacent story game. Not even done by Riot proper. It's done by they're like connected third party developer. I have no interest in this.
Nope, it's a pass.
No, let's move on.
Because we're not League players. Like
no,
I don't know the characters. I don't know the premise. It's just
Oh, my son Evan plays a shitload of League, like hours each night, and he has no interest in this. So that should say something. Yeah. Next out is Dead Island 2, out for the Xbox, PlayStation, the PC. I already talked about this. The game's a blast. If you haven't picked it up yet, pick it up. It is fantastic. So if you like Dead Island 1, you're going to love Dead Island 2. End of story. Did you play Dead Island 1?
No, I did play Dead Island 1, yeah. So
Did
I
you
enjoyed
like
that
it?
a lot of it. Yeah, I did.
Like going to the crafting tables and taking a weapon and then like putting like
Throwing
electrical
nails and-
shit on it and nails and yes, all this. It has exactly that. Yes, it
hockey stick with a chainsaw.
yeah, it's everything you love and miss. So
Yeah, no, this is definitely one that was on my radar, but it's with the craziness that's been going on around my house with everything going on. I haven't had a chance to really pick anything up outside of my wheelhouse that I wanted to play. This is something I want to play, and I will be picking it up though. So
nice. Well, once you pick it up and get caught up, we can invite you into our roving group of ruffians. So
how many can you play?
you can play 4 people in a co-op.
Oh.
So yeah.
All right.
And you can have duplicate characters. Like GBMS and I each pick the same guy with his same skill set. But it's not a weird thing because you never see yourself. So I see Tiff and I see him, but I don't see myself. So it doesn't weird me out at all that we have the same guy. But
But for Tiff, it does.
I guess, yeah, Tiff sees 2 of us all the time. I should ask her about that. Yeah, that must be weird, where she can't tell who's who. But yes. All right. Next new release that came out last week is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the PC. If you played Jedi Fallen Order, this is the sequel to that. And apparently this game's pretty amazing, except on PC where it's got like 100 million bugs and frame rate issues. And
this is a game that's sitting in my cart right now to buy, and I can't pull the trigger because there's just so much other stuff out there. I want to dedicate, and I know if I buy it, I'm gonna fucking sink myself into this game and not play anything else. So I'm like, I'm avoiding it just because there's so much other stuff coming out that I want to play.
yeah, fair enough. Like I want to get to this eventually, but I know that I can't get to it right now. So someday, Selden. Someday. And then the last new release for this week comes out tomorrow and on Tuesday, and it is Redfall, out for the Xbox and the PC. This is the Bethesda, right? Yeah,
Yep.
Bethesda game. It's got some interesting early reviews, but I'm still excited for it.
Yeah, I've avoided reading the reviews because this is a game that I'm going to be playing for sure. This is the game that has been on my docket for a long time. Nothing like a little magic vampire hunting game going on.
Yeah.
So
No, on paper, this game is fantastic. So I'm probably still going to play it, despite the negative press that's out there. I didn't read why it's negative. I just looked at numbers. And that way I don't get spoilers when you just jump to the number. And the numbers were a lot lower than I expected, but who knows?
yeah. Well, I mean that's the problem with today's world. I mean, it's like I don't know how to take reviews. Like Star Wars Jedi Survivor got phenomenal reviews before it was released.
Yep.
Came out and it just got bombed. It got bombed left and right because of all the PC issues that were going on with the graphics and everything, and the stuttering, and the frame rate drops, and then the side-by-side comparisons between the Xbox and the PlayStation version. And I'm like, I'm sure it's a great game. It came out and like Redfall, you're saying it's getting a lot of negative reviews. Now, like once this thing hits the floor, is it going to be getting good reviews to the consumers? It's like
exactly. You just never. It's like when you go to
never know where people's political angle is on how they're reviewing the game and stuff like that. So
you go to IMDb and you see movies with drastically different audience things versus critics things. So yeah, you just never know.
Yeah.
Yep. But I'm excited.
So I'm looking forward. And Redfall, hey, it's a benefit because it's on Xbox Game Pass. So I already have it pre-downloaded. So
it's free. Yes. It's all how you look at it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps up the new releases. So why don't we hop on over into gaming news? First story. Vampire Survivors is getting an animated television series. So I'm not even sure how this is fucking remotely possible or what will even come out of this, but I'm all in. All in.
Where is the story in the game? I don't
There's
understand.
no story. There's literally none.
It's just it's that food fight game on crack from when we were in kids. I'm like, it's just you got hordes and hordes just flooding at you.
Running at you. That's all this show can be. Now imagine a cartoon where like your protagonist is trying to do something and there's just infinite hordes of like that could be fun, right?
For an animated series, though, I don't know.
It's a little weird.
I know that Vampire Survivors has a lot of different characters that you can play.
That's true.
But
none of them have personalities that we've learned. They just have a different starting weapon and different traits, like different running speed and that's. But none of them are fleshed out.
There's no voice acting going on for these guys, right?
No, zero.
They don't have punchlines each. Like they don't have their own call sound.
Like, wait till they get a load of me. No, nobody says that. No. So even despite that, I'm still all in.
Oh boy, it can't be worse than the Halo series movies.
Oh my god, you don't like the Halo show?
No, the Halo show was awful.
Oh, the Halo show is awesome. No.
All right.
Next story.
I'll take this one since I really didn't know this was happening. But Sega's buying Angry Birds maker Rovio for $776 million. In a game that is still pumping out other versions of Angry Birds repeatedly over and over. They definitely found a niche. They are definitely well embedded in the mobile market and have branched out into a couple console games. So I mean, it's a great buy if you're trying to get into the mobile market and getting that catalog behind you. Yep. I don't know if $776 million is overpriced. I don't know.
How much DLC did you buy for Angry Birds? Because I bought zero.
Yeah, I may have bought like a game or two, but I don't know.
Because the games were free, right?
Were they free?
Yeah, the games were free. Because otherwise, I wouldn't have bought into Angry Birds. That's not my style.
Well, they do have a VR version that you had to buy. I almost bought that, but I didn't buy that. They did have a movie or two, right?
Oh, they did have. They had one movie. Yes,
they had one movie, right?
Yeah, and that says it all right there. Just one.
Just one. I don't
know. Again, the
Emojis
Emojis also had a movie. Yeah, so just saying.
But in the world where Microsoft is trying to buy somebody for billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, this is close to $1 billion.
Like, yeah, but it's close to 1 billion.
Yeah,
not 67.
Yeah, but it's their catalog is not. I don't think their catalog is $1 billion worth it. Like even $750 million worth it. So
yeah, I'd just like to see what they make off of Angry Birds. I'm not sure if Rovio is a public company or not, but obviously they had to provide numbers to Sega as part of their due diligence, and Sega obviously thought that it was an investment that was going to pay off, right?
Yeah, but what else is in
there? It's Angry Birds. Yes, I know what you want to say.
I'm like, it's fun. It was popular 30 years ago or whenever it first came out, 20 years ago.
Yeah, like 15 years.
15 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
I just, I don't understand the business side of that decision.
Nah. Right. You'll never know. All right. Next story. GameStop employee reportedly fired for leaking Zelda-themed Switch. So this story is kind of a weird twist. One, everyone would have expected this already. Two, the information about this was already on the internet that there was going to be a Zelda themed Switch. This employee just leaked the information that they had from working at GameStop about, rumored release dates and all this other stuff, and GameStop shut this kid down. I, I'm not a fan. If the information's already out there, then share what you got. Be the cool kid. I don't know. You look like you disagree, Selden.
No, your actual audio is breaking up a little bit there. But no, somebody's got to go down for leaks. I'm you can't just let something slide. You gotta. I mean, I hate to say make an example of somebody, but
it's really the truth. Yeah.
It's make the truth. I mean, yeah, they can trace this back to him for what he did. So yeah, he's got to be held responsible. I'm like, and I could see it from both sides. It just seems ridiculous that they are, but I can see it from the managerial business side saying, yeah, you got to go. So
it's got to be held responsible.
And there could be other things behind the scenes. It could be the guy was a fucking prick and he hated his manager or whatever.
And it was just the excuse that got him to go. Yep. Yep. No, fair enough. So, fair enough. It's just funny that this still happens. So.
Yeah.
All right, next story.
All right, this one's right in my wheelhouse, and I'll talk about it a little bit. Players call Call of Duty Warzone 2's new DMZ bundles pay to win. Call of Duty has decided that they're going to go with the DMZ mode. They're going to release skins for it. A lot of the skins, they're trying to rehash some of the old ones from the old Call of Duties and stuff like that, and introducing some new ones. But the big thing is buried underneath just the skin that you're buying for $20 or whatever, is that they're releasing with these skins the ability to have additional perks for that skin when you enter the game. Now DMZ is not that hard in the first 5 minutes to get a lot of the things that they're giving you up front. So they're giving you an additional slot, or they're giving you they're giving you a vest with where you can put 2 plates in instead of 1 plate. Those things are not hard to find.
What about the cooldown though?
The cooldown is where it's kind of a questionable thing, where it's usually if you lose a weapon, it's 30 minutes on your restricted weapons, your customized weapons that you can bring in yourself. If you lose it while you're in the DMZ, it's a 30-minute cooldown. You can shorten that time by dropping off gear in dead drops within the DMZ. So it's not like it's that big of a deal. And you usually have like 30 guns backed up anyways, contraband guns, that it's not like you're going to be destitute the next time you run in to, pick up another gun, because you're going to have like some in your backpack already that you're ready to go from the drop of the DMZ. So, I mean, I don't see a problem with it. I'm not going to buy one because I'm a cheap bastard. I'm not going to drop $20 on a freaking skin with a additional slot. I'm already up to where I have 2 reserve slots anyway. So if I lose one, I have another one back up. Plus, as I said, I have like 30 other guns that you keep the good ones, you trash the garbage ones. It's they've introduced a lot of new items and stuff like that. There's special plate vests and stuff like that. There's a comms vest where you can hear enemy players a little further away, stuff like that some of these skins are getting right off the bat. But you know what, I got 3 characters already. I can load them out whichever way I want, and I'm comfortable with what I have going in, so I don't have a need to buy these things. I'm just
there is controversy though, Selden.
Well, there's definitely controversy. I'm like, some people are just up in the arms about it, but really, a lot of the things that you're getting, you can get within 5 minutes if you're going to the DMZ and you know what you're doing. So,
no, so you're saying you know what you're doing?
I do know what I'm doing in the DMZ.
No. All right, fair enough.
But it's my biggest problem is that it's pay to win, but you can't earn what they're offering in those packages. So that's where the disconnect, in my opinion, is.
Yeah.
Is if it's something that I can work for and get that perk that I can use in the future by spending extra amount of time, I don't mind if you buy it and get it early, as long as I can get it in the long run. And that's where I have a problem with their pay to win structure right now.
Yeah, because it's unavailable any other way.
Yeah. So. But at least it's not a loot box where you paying for something and randomly getting it. So at least you know what you're getting. You know what somebody else is going to get. So
Yeah, all right, fair enough. All right, next story. Probably one of the bigger stories. Britain blocks Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. So this is a big story, but I'm not sure it's super important. So the reason why Britain blocked this was not for the reason that everyone would have thought, the monopoly or the Call of Duty exclusivity or whatever. They blocked it because, and I'm going to try to explain this because it makes no fucking sense. Microsoft's game streaming that you can do, that's what they have an issue with. So they're saying that stifles innovation by letting people stream it to anywhere. So
they basically admitted they don't know what the fuck is going to happen in cloud gaming.
yes,
And they have no idea where it's going. So instead of promoting it and getting people behind it and getting money to go towards this, they're just going to say, "Oh,
whoa,
wait a second.
hold up here."
We
Yes.
want Tom, Dick, John, and Harry each to have their own cloud gaming service."
Yep.
Like if they're trying to run a strip mall on the internet, it's not going to fucking work.
No. So I think that this is not a roadblock for Microsoft. I think all they have to do, because they've appealed this, and when they go back for the appeal, that all they have to say is, all right, we won't do our cloud streaming in the UK. And literally their whole argument goes away. And because they didn't have any other counter arguments or additional arguments, it has to go through. I'm still confident that this is like a 95% it's going to go through.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to what the European Union and the FTC come down and make their decision.
But it's not the EU. The EU had no problem with this because of Brexit. The UK is by themselves.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The European Union's final decision and the FTC's final decision is going to help influence anything that the UK currently has on the plate.
Yep, exactly.
So it might drag out a little bit longer in the UK. I don't see Microsoft and Activision Blizzard pulling out and saying we're not going to sell games in the UK to just get this to go through. I mean, there does have to be some kind of concession that happens in this. The UK really, their decision, I read through their whole document and I'm like, they just have no clue.
They don't understand cloud gaming.
They don't understand cloud gaming at all.
Nope.
They think cloud gaming is like you go down, like I said, a strip mall, and like now they're thinking Microsoft's going to buy the entire strip mall, and Microsoft's going to be the only place. I'm like, no. I'm like, there's other platforms. In fact, Microsoft has said they're giving out, the Call of Duty franchise to all these other cloud
and they
gaming
keep doing it.
Platforms.
Like even today, they gave it to NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just like the UK is just, I don't understand where they're coming from. And I think they kind of made themselves look silly with this decision and how they presented it.
Agreed.
But time will see. Time will tell, I guess. So.
Yeah, I don't think that once they go back in for this appeal, I don't think it's going to last much longer than the day. And then it's going to be like, what the fuck? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm giving it a 95% to pass.
I blame Stadia. If Stadia would have still been around, there would have been two players in the market.
Yeah.
And UK couldn't have said, well, you're the only player.
It's because Stadia sucked. That's why, Selden. It's because some people can't give up Android. Yeah. All right.
Let's. Yeah. I mean, the big story is the FTC and the European Union's decision. So
exactly. All right. Next story. So
I don't like
not
any
pre-read.
No, I just don't like any of them. Do we really care about Destiny 2? I mean, okay.
We can get rid of this. I'll just exit out right now.
Bungie to ban Destiny 2 players who abuse third-party peripherals. The player base for Destiny 2 is stabilized where it is right now. I'm not going to say it's falling apart. It's got a big core base of players that love to play the game. Third party peripherals are a freaking nightmare across all gaming platforms, especially shooters. But people are using,
macro
lock-ons and stuff like
buttons.
that, macro button. They're using additional items on top of their controller to help them, auto center and attack, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's great to see that Bungie's taking a step to ban these players. I don't know how aggressive they want to be with this based on the stabilization of their player base right now. And the ability to, if there's guys out there doing it, you might shrink somebody, the base, because you're killing the people that are playing. So
you might lose some of your streamers.
Yeah.
Yes. I found that to be the same way I read this story. Is it's a good thing overall, but for a game like Destiny where they count on these guys and the views of their streams and everything else, some of these guys, they have to be using these. So yeah.
And the question comes is like, okay, what about those the individuals that are using the adaptive controller from Microsoft, the standard one, because they have a physical inability to play the game otherwise.
And that's one of the controllers that's mentioned that people are using to cheat, but some people need that.
Yeah, some people need that. So I'm like, what are you going to do about those peripherals? So like they're
how you gonna
maybe somebody can play the game they need it. So anyways.
It'll be fun to see how this shakes out. So all right, next story. EA Sports PGA Tour is getting a new swing system and other major changes after criticism. So this is the game I was talking about earlier that I've been playing. And the new swing system that was introduced in the game was more of like a pull the stick back and push it forward and stay on the line to not slice or hook. Well, nobody seems to like that, and it seems to have a little bugginess to it. So they're actually bringing back the 3-button press swing that's been around since Lynx came out on the PC in like the 90s.
I was gonna say, I thought every golf game had that as a default option to go back to.
No,
I didn't realize that they didn't put it into this game.
No, so we're gonna get that back. The start the swing at the power level, and then it comes back down, and it's like stop it right on that line, otherwise it hooks or slices. So that's coming back. There was also.
I was gonna say I have to admit that I did have a little bit of difficulty with some of the swing mechanics of that game. When I started playing it, it's just because it's like especially chipping is like you can't see where the top arc line is most of the time because it's the color's off, and even when you thought you hit it perfectly, it still goes on past it. It's like
yep. So that's going away, and then a lot of the bugs, like the bug you ran into with the skins game, they're fixing a lot of those other bugs. So. I'm looking forward to that update, and I will definitely be switching my swing over to the old school Lynx method.
Yeah, that's the enjoyable way. That's really
yes.
Like I did used to play on the PC as well. Some of the games when it was the mouse, you'd have to roll the mouse back, just like Golden Tee in the arcade. Like I would love to have a rollerball on my fucking desk when I'm playing that game. That'd be great.
Yeah. See.
But you had a lot more control with it, it's than a joystick. So
yeah, that's basically what they're trying to mimic, but with a stick that you pull back and push forward, and it's not easy to stay in line. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this update.
I don't know how many times I jam my finger on the counts on the big old freaking cabinet playing Golden Tee because you'd be like riveted
right up into that plexiglass screen protector. Yeah, there's a reason why they put that on that game and not other games. Yes, because you had drunk people at bars and you had them pushing a ball as hard as they could at the screen with their hand coming off of it. So yeah.
Yeah, I will have to say they really had the angle of the screen down to a science though, because your hand kind of just slid right up instead of bashing it right into the glass.
Yep. They figured they had the secret sauce. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, next story.
Let's go. Xbox system update. includes a refined search experience. There's also a new power saving mode. I had some of this in the early alpha phase because I'm on the alpha flight of whatever, the Microsoft Xbox on a couple of my consoles, and it's the power save is just not something. It's really what I'm looking for because I like to have all my games update in the background when I'm not playing and stuff like that. And it's a great option, especially for those that are energy conscious and
You
you
know
don't
that
want to.
still happens even with the power setting.
Some of them, no, in the alpha it wasn't. It would automatically turn off. I think you could turn it to a different level that would still do that, but
Hmm.
maybe I'm wrong.
No,
But
yeah. So it wakes up every night during the overnight and just checks for updates and then installs them and shuts itself down again.
oh, then maybe I should have read the story because that's not what I experienced in the alpha.
Well, that's not even this story. That's the
Oh,
last update they did when we all switched to the when it's like save 94% energy by setting it to the full off. So this one just lets you set like time windows where it
uh,
it does the old fashioned like quick resume. So you can be like, well, I play games between like 5 and 11 at night. So during that time, I want it to be full on. And then after that, I want it to go into that sleep mode where it just wakes up for updates and etc. So,
yeah, I want my house to glow from space and the heat.
yeah.
But it's great. I mean, Xbox is really they're really forward thinking with a lot of the updates that they put out. And it's good to see that they're doing these though. Um, and they're constantly innovating and adding new things. So
Yeah.
I can't say much about the PlayStation because I haven't been on that dashboard in a long time, but I always remembered it was pretty static and never really changed much.
Yeah, they're
Um,
doing a few more changes now, but it's nothing drastic. No.
so good on Microsoft.
Yeah, good on them. Good on 'em. All right, last story. Ubisoft Plus game subscription service officially launches on Xbox. So nobody wanted this. It's uninteresting and silly and stupid. And Ubisoft shuts down their game servers for older games. So it's not like you have their full archive of games. And it costs $15 a month. Like that's what it costs us for um for Game Pass
Game
Ultimate.
Pass.
So $15 a month for that. Now granted, when you do get the games for Ubisoft Plus, you get whatever their ultimate edition is. So you get all the DLC, you get everything else, any special perks you would have got for pre-ordering the ultimate edition or whatever. But $15 a month still seems cheap for that. Like that's a little overpriced.
Now, is this going to pull the Ubisoft games off of what we currently have on Game Pass? Because I know I've been able to play some Assassin's Creed games through Game Pass through Ubisoft. So now is
I'm
that going
I,
away?
I'm not sure how that's going to play out in the future if they feel like they're getting more from their own service or if whatever Microsoft gives them per like that's the thing that no one knows. No one knows what Microsoft pays these companies to have their game on Game Pass for. Uh, we've heard vagaries from the companies that are on that say they love the deal, but we just don't know. And if Ubisoft thinks that they can make more by making exclusive their service, then they could. But my guess is they're probably not seeing a lot of subscriptions.
Yeah, because I originally thought this was going to roll into Game Pass. I thought it was going to
Kind of
be
like EA
kind of
Play
like
did.
EA's. Yeah, I didn't realize it's going to be a separate subscription service.
Yeah, this is another $15 a month across it. Tack that on to like when we all said we hated cable and we wanted to get things a la carte, and then now we have 20 subscription services that we all pay for each month. Uh, be careful be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, and I pulled up the list of their games and
There's nothing interesting. Yeah,
Battleship, Boggle,
yeah,
Family Feud,
yeah.
all the games that you had in the pack of the Risk, like There's some South Park games. A lot of these games have been on Game Pass, come and gone, or still there.
Yeah.
Like,
Or already been played.
yeah,
Yep.
already been played a lot.
Yep. So
So,
I don't think this is going to be a huge boon for them. So I would either expect this to go away or the price to go down. So
yeah. Hmm. I think they missed the mark on this, basically, right from what I'm looking at right now. So we'll
yep,
see.
agreed. All right. Well, if any of you have stories you want us to talk about next week, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@toolplay.com. You can also comment on this episode's thread in the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors. If we had them, we'd pimp them, but we don't, so we won't. But support the show. Sponsor us. Like the same contacts. Podcast@toolplay.com. 773-527-2961, and just come arrange a deal with us. We'll talk about your shit. Like, you could even be like a local car wash. We'll be like, yeah, they're the best car wash in Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, we'll take sponsors big or small. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related is at twitter.com/still_got_game. Facebook the fuck out of us, facebook.com/Tool to Play. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. That is one of the places where we broadcast the show live each and every week, as well as we have our entire video archive on YouTube. So go there. You can watch episodes of this show, Hits Quick Hits, Tips Immature Interviews, Selden's show. All of the shows are there. So go to youtube.com/Tool to Play and subscribe, and you will have a plethora of content at your very click. We have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/still_got_game. That's another place where we broadcast the show live each and every week. So if you don't follow us on Twitch, please do. We had to bail out of our twitch.tv/Tool to Play account when we want to start multi-streaming because of our monetization agreement with Twitch. So we're currently not monetized on Twitch, but we could use some follows there. We're also up on iTunes. Please write and review an iTunes review. Give us 5 stars, and if you get an extra couple seconds, write a little something nice about us, like, hey, Selden's head looking good, or T-Smooth's mini man bangs. Those things are sick. They look dangerous. Whatever you want to write, just write something. Go along with the review. People like to read something. We have a Discord channel. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. That is the Discord channel where we all hang out, shoot the shit, and chat. You can suggest news stories there. You can chat with the hosts. You can chat with other fans. So go there and join us. And it's always a good time. And Selden is pretty good at responding quickly to fans. So definitely hop on in and join the community. Selden, you got any personal things you want to pimp this week?
Just my link tree /Selden007. That's linktr.ee/Selden SELDEN 007. You can find links to all my socials there. Check out what's going on in my life, what's going on with my family, hiking, video games, anything and everything. So check it out.
Yeah, there's no filter to filter out the hiking stuff. Just to let you know, I've tried to find it. So all of my personal shit is at linktree/Derek Nolan. That's linktr.ee/Derek Nolan. That's got all of my socials as well as all of the show's socials that I just mentioned just prior. So if you want to find anything me or anything Still Got Game or anything Tool to Play related, linktree/Derek Nolan. I guess before we wrap, I want to remind you all you can join us each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/Tool to Play, facebook.com/Tool to Play, and twitch.tv/still_got_game. And on that, why don't we wrap this episode up? I'm Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Christopher Selden007 Selden.
Impressive.